Wake up, arise. With every breath you breathe, the drum of death doth beat. Wake up, arise. Chant Rama, Rama, Rama. With every day that passes, the water of life doth leak. Wake up, arise. Chant Rama, Rama, Rama. With every pleasure of the senses, dragons of lust doth hiss. Wake up, arise. Chant Rama, Rama. Led by devotion, with every throb of the heart, the eternal call doth ring. Wake up, arise. Chant Rama, Rama, Rama. With every touch of God's grace, the soul beckons to light. Wake up, arise. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Nilambuja Shyamal Komalangam Sita Samaropita Vama Bhagam Panau Maha Sayat Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side. He is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Shri Ramcharitmanas by Sant Swami Tulsidas ji in Ayodhya Kanda, and verse number is 145. Context of this story is Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, they are now well established in Panchavati, Parnakuti, and Guha Nishad returns and meets with Sumantra, who is King Dasharatha's minister. Sumantra was the one who had taken Rama, Lakshmana, Sita into the forest in his chariot. And he was supposed to return, but he just stayed back. And when Nishada saw this, he was very concerned, and he gave 4 of his attendants to help Sumantra to help him to be led to his source, that's Ayodhya, where is King Dasharatha. The condition of Sumantra is being described, but through this description, what is being highlighted is how a sensitive soul experiences hunger for divine love. Nobody misses bhakti. Lot of love in the world and gloves you. So love for God is forgotten. So, but then when sensitivity develops, amazing transformation occurs. You look at all the world and nothing satisfies you. How is it you have been separated from God, who is the reality in you, reality in all? And what a wonder, how you have wandered away into a world of egoistic, of ego-based, egoism-based values. This point, the spiritual facts are, they don't have to wait for whether you like it or not. And to have perfect realization of the fact, there needs to be a lot of patience, lot of persistence, lot of sadhana. No matter how long it may take, your movement requires a clarity of the goal. The clarity of the goal, that's what's being presented. The message is not to become miserable because you didn't have devotion. Message is to understand that sensitivity awaits, and you have in degrees, not to the extent Sumantra. So now coming into the storyline, Vivarana bhaya una jai nihari, maresi manahu pita mahatari. The color of Sumantra's face has changed. So changed one doesn't even want, one cannot bear looking at him. It's an unbearable face. Face of misery is not so delightful to look at. As if he has killed his father and his mother. Tulsidas' illustrations are wild. And behind the illustration, the subtle message. If you have not developed bhakti, devotion to God, you are not going to pay off your debts. There are 5 debts. Pancharina. Debt to God. That's the fundamental source. Debt to sages and saints. Debt to God you pay by your sadhana, by your integral movement, by Godward movement. And jnana pays pays the debt when jnana is becoming highly successful. If you have paid debt to God, then there is no, all other debts are paid. But then come to another next level, debt to sages and saints who have brought revelations of the Vedas, of the scriptures. How do you pay that debt? By taking advantage of what they have presented. By studying the Gita, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, or all our Upanishads. All these scriptural teachings. Again, you have to understand more detail that if you simply hold the scripture in your puja room, you have not paid the debt. Or if you recite Gita and other scriptures so fluently, but don't practice anything, you have not paid the debt. Paying the debt is taking advantage, to be benefited by what sages have said, assimilating the teachings. So that paying the debt again is a progressive movement. You can't pay all of it. Next, paying debt to forefathers, Pitri Rin. Forefathers, you are very much related. Your whole psychology constantly look for who were our forefathers. But then, if you really want to please them in a profound way, develop love of God. If you have developed love of God, one of the sutras say that the forefathers begin to dance in the heavenly world. You don't even have to call them by name. You don't have to know where they are. But they are automatically so fulfilled that you can't imagine. And then you come to the most practical stage. As a human being, you are indebted to human beings. So, you pay that debt by the formula, be good, do good. In order to pay that debt, you have to have good human values in your own self. If you don't have it, how can you humanize human beings? So, be good, do good. Paropakaraya dharmasya. Doing good to others. Others referring to all human beings around you, near and dear ones. That's the secret of dharma, practice of dharma. The relationship with human beings is the most effective and most realistic relationship. In that relationship, are you staying dull, being miserable and sharing the misery? People wait for months for the dear ones to come, but they come with big stories of misery. Then you open up your chapters of misery. What happens to misericordia? It's grace. I'm using humor from Spanish. Misericordia. It's compassion. What happens to that? Anyway, coming back to simple practical point. Live your life with integral yoga involvement. So, all relations are your opportunities to discover yourself, enrich your good qualities. If nobody gives you any test, your good qualities are only inflated ego. But with all the tests around you, you continue to maintain good-heartedness and continue to inspire others. As you evolve in a sincere way, every individual is a wave. If a wave wants to rise higher, automatically many waves will rise with it. There's no choice. If you become spiritual, every stage of being good has influenced so many people who can't understand it. Every stage of the flower blossoming, its fragrance has gone in many directions. No human being is completely separated. Everything that you think, every way you feel is influencing others. Likewise, you are being influenced by others. So, that's the way you pay your debt to human beings, by being good, doing good. Loving service. And that's a very broad topic. And finally, bhut rin. Debt that you pay to animals, birds, and all, other than all living beings below human level. And that debt you pay by your kindness and good attitude. Even animals become influenced by human goodness. In turn, human beings also draw inspiration from animals. Many of the Hatha Yoga exercises, they are after the animals. Peacock pose, cobra pose, lion pose, and so forth. If you do those yogas with those poses, you are paying debt. And when you see the birds, you associate it with they are vehicles of divine beings. So birds, animals, they all create a joyous atmosphere if you are developing devotion to God. Sumantra was in that state of distress, as if he had killed his father and mother. Killing his father and mother is simply implying he was unable to pay his debts. Pancharin. Pitri rin you pay, in that rin is Matri Devo Bhava, Pitri Devo Bhava. If you don't have devotion to God, and you have done lot of external services to your parents, you have not really served. From a profounder point of view, they cannot be really proud of you. They are really proud when you are following a path that will lead you to absolute bliss. But you are following a path leading you to an abyss. How can parents delight? That's one way of thinking. Another way, your spiritual progress is inspiring the souls, no matter where they are. Hani galani vipula mana vyapi, Jamapura pantha socha jimi papi. Sumantra is experiencing immense pain as a result of separation from Rama. The storyline, the idea is separation from Rama Bhakti. And it is the poetic description. Sumantra was feeling as if he is being led, compelled to follow the path of hell. Jampur pantha socha jimi papi. A papi, a sinful person, following the path to Yamaloka, to the realm of death. How miserable it is. Because for a papi, all that awaits is yatana. Yatana means a lot of suffering. What is important to note? That if bhakti is not there, then all that you get by your karma, a highly sensitive person describes it as going to hell. Attaining Swarga is just modified hell. Because after finishing Swarga, you are coming back. So, when that stage comes, that's called, you are developing vivek, this type of intellect that sees the difference between the goal of attaining liberation and the movement towards bhoga, enjoyment. If you don't have the goal of liberation, the whole world is a big hell. बचनु न आव हृदय पछिताई, अवध काह मैं देख अब जाई. He is unable to speak. In his heart there is terrible distress. What will I say to the king and all the loved ones of Rama? when I go to Ayodhya. Because that was in a storyline. Sumantra was given the instruction by King Dasharatha that keep Rama, Lakshmana, Sita for a few days in the forest and manipulate things in such a way that they come back. But this didn't happen. So now what will I say to them? Ram rahit dasratha dekhi joyi, sakuchihi mohi bilokat soyi. The moment I enter Ayodhya without Rama, Lakshmana, Sita on the chariot, all the citizens, what will happen to them? Big shock will shower over them. No one will look at it my face. धाई पूछी हहीं मोही जब विकल नगर नर नारी उतरु देव मह सबहि तब हृदय वज्र बैठारी. Men, women of the city of Ayodhya, extremely anxious to meet Rama. They will all come running to me, asking about Rama. I will have to place a thunderbolt in my heart in order to give response to them. पूछियहि दीन दुखित सब माता, कहब काह मैं तिन्हि विधाता. And mothers who are suffering from deep distress caused by separation from Rama, Lakshmana, Sita. When they ask, with their heart melting with virah, separation, then, O Vidhata, O Lord, what will I say to them? पूछी हहीं जब अहीं लखन महतारी, कहीं हूँ कवन संदेश सुखारी. And when mother of Lakshmana, Sumitra Devi, asks about Lakshmana, what message can I give to her that could be comforting? राम जननी जब आई धाई, सुमिरी बच्चु जिमि धेनु लवाई. All this is a description of Vira from many sources. And as I have explained, it is not psychological misery. It is a psychological health, super health. That is like when you have healthy appetite, you feel the pinch of pain, of hunger. The hunger pinches, and pinch makes you very anxious, very eager to get nourishing food. But that pinch is the symptom of rejoicing. You don't have dyspepsia anymore. So, a subtle hunger develops in your personality, very eager, pointed, keen, to enjoy divine love, to enjoy the sweetness of surrender, to enjoy the power of mantra, to enjoy the miracle of grace, to enjoy to be freed of the load of the world, and put the head under the bag of silky fibers all this eagerness is viraha. There's nothing painful about it. This is very good indication for spiritual progress. And it should grow in every person progressively. You begin to feel when you do some sadhana and your mind enjoys peace. Then, in normal conditions, you begin to remember. And you eagerly await, when will I have the same experience? You do mantra japa and you experience sweetness of divine presence. Internally there develops a kind of subtle expectation. That expectation goes on growing without upsetting your normality of nervous system, rather enriching your nervous system. It's a nutrition. राम जननी जब आई धाई सुमिरी बच्चू जिमि धैनु लवाई. And Rama's mother will come running like a cow comes running to a calf. But there is no calf. Rama is in the forest. What will I say to him? पूछत उतरु देव मैं तेहि गे बनु राम लखनु बै देहि. When she asked, I will have to say, Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, they stayed in the forest. जोई पूछी तेहि उतरु देवा जाई अवध अब यह सुख लेवा. And that's the type of joy and awaits me when I go to Ayodhya. That's the type of welcome I will get. पूछें जब ही राउ दुख दीना जीवन जासु रघुनाथ अधीना. And the highlighted worst part, what will I say to the king who is suffering intensely because of separation from Rama? His life is dependent on Rama. And when he asks me, देहं उतरु कह कौन मुँह लाई आयऊं कुशल कुंवर पहुँचाई. What way can I tell him? With what type of mouth can I use the words that I have led Rama, Lakshmana, Sita safely into the forest? The moment King Dasharatha hears it, he will give up his life, even like a straw. Hirdayana bidareu pankajimi vichurata piritamu neeru janata ho mohi deena vidhi yahu jatana sharir. Being separated from Rama, why didn't my heart give up my soul? Why didn't I attain separation? Brahma has given to me this body which is residence for a hell. Yatana Sharir. There again the message behind it. If you don't have bhakti, you have no choice but to stay with body. Not just one body, body after body. And all this movement is to be viewed from advanced point of view. Sarvam dukam vivekina. All embodiments, that idea of going after embodiment after embodiment. Nowhere can you find your goal unless in your process of embodiment you are moving on the path. You are practicing sadhana, then your next embodiment will be next stage of your sadhana movement. That movement is perfectly, that's towards Godward movement. But if you don't have Godward movement, only you want to be happy in the world, not knowing what happiness is. Then each body you are getting is a location in hell. Figure that out. Fortunately, God has not allowed you to remember all the bodies. Not all, even 2 or 3 of the past bodies and what have happened. You will not be able to endure it. But you don't have to remember it. You have enough data within your body, even in this very life. And no matter how progressive you may become and attain something so great in this world, by the time you are looking at things that you have, all the type of your prosperity and counting them, the cup and the lip, suddenly comes heart attack. One little attack and all has gone away. These points have to be understood, reflected upon with a healthy mind. Because what's alternative? Immense joy, Godward movement. That spells out in 3 ways. Shakti, you get strength to face challenges in life. Challenges become like a sport. Sports people try to have bigger and bigger adventurous movement. What to others, their movements can break their neck, break their spine, but not so. They go on. I'm just giving you allegorically. But the point is, same challenges, they are viewed by, if you have developed bhakti devotion, you feel as a challenge. Challenge that will allow you to understand how great operation of grace is there in your personality. Miracle of grace. When suddenly people describe miracle. But before the miracle came, you had a lot of trouble and turmoil. But why did miracle came? Because you were patient while the troubles were there. You didn't stop your sadhana. You continue to hold on to your faith. And therefore, there came the miracle. So none of the sufferings of yours was gone in vain. यही विधि करत पंथ पछितावा तमसा तीर तुरत रथु आया आवा. So all this is happening in the mind of Sumantra. It's far from Ayodhya, but it's coming closer. Now his chariot, along with those 4 attendants who are guiding him, came to the bank of Tamasa river, which is close to Ayodhya. विदा किए करि विनय विष्णिषादा, फिरे पाए परि विकल विषादा. Their minister Sumantra said goodbye to those 4 attendants. They, having touched the feet of Sumantra and feeling internally agitated because Sumantra's mind was not at rest. In other words, all the 4 attendants returned. Sumantra is now alone in his chariot and he is entering Ayodhya. Pathat nagar sachiva sakuchai, janu mare si guru bamhan gai. Entering Ayodhya, he feels so ashamed. His head hangs down, as if he has killed Guru, Brahman and cow. Statement has subtle point to understand. If you don't follow these three points, Guru, Brahman, cow. Guru is one who gives you spiritual teachings. Brahmans are those who allow the satsanga movement to help you to follow Guru's teachings. And cows are the scriptural teachings. So all the 3 are shut out if you are not following the path of bhakti. As if you have killed them. बैठी भी टप तरक दिवस गंवावा, सांझ समय तब अवसर उपावा. Whole day he spent under a tree. In the evening he found proper opportunity to enter Ayodhya. He could not enter it during the day because he would have to face so many faces. अवध प्रवेशु कीन अधियारे, पैठ भवन रथ राखी दुआरे. When it was dark, he entered Ayodhya. And keeping the chariot outside, he entered into the palace very quietly. जिन जिन समाचार सुनी पाए, भूप द्वार रथु देखन आए. However, there were some people who did see him. And their whispers drew many other people. They all ran to the doors of the palace, Rajdwar. रथ पहचानी बिकल लखी थोरे, गरही गात जिमि आतप ओरे. As they came towards King Dasharatha's palace, they recognized the chariot. They were all waiting to see the chariot bringing Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. But all they see is those horses, and they are eloquently describing the pain they are suffering from being separated from Rama. And those horses, they are fading away. They are becoming, their bodies are waning, becoming thin, melting away. just like frost melts away when there is summer sunshine. And all the men and women of the city became agitated, just like when in a river water begins to diminish, all the fishes become agitated. Sachiva agamanu sunat sabu bikal bhayu ranivasu. Having heard that Mantri Sumantra has come, all the queens, the major queens are Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, Sumintra. They became all agitated. The entire palace became like an assembly of pretas. Pretas are ghosts, restless spirits. Ati arati sab poochahi rani, utarun aava bikal bhai bani. The queens asked with great eagerness and suspense. And Sumantra doesn't know what to say. He begins to stammer. Even his ears lost the power of hearing. His eyes lost the power of seeing. All he said to them, ignoring all whatever they were asking, he said to them, "Where is the king? Where is the king?" Dasina dikh sachiva bikalai, Kaushalya griha gayi lavai. Maid servants, seeing the minister, Sumantra, in that state of agitation, they led him to the palace where Kaushalya Devi was, because that is where Dasharatha was. And when Sumantra entered that place, he saw the king in a seated pose. But how did he appear? He appeared like a moon, like the moon without the nectarine moonlight. The moon that has lost its luster. Asana sayana vibhushana hina, pareu bhumi tala nipata malina. The king has abandoned his seat, his bed, his ornaments. His face is extremely sad. And he is lying on the earth, breathing heavily. That reminded him of the story of King Yayati. Yayati, a big story, but the basic story is what? Yayati borrowed longevity from one of his sons. And one of the sons was very spiritually advanced, gave him, transferred his long life to Yayati's long life. Yayati had a long life and he enjoyed a lot of pleasures. But again he began to develop old age. How can he go on exchanging age? Now by this time he developed Vairagya. And his statement is, Trishna na jirna vayameva jirna. You go after satisfying your craving. Your craving never ages, it youthens. But you go on aging. But that's the story behind Yayati. King appears like that. Let soch bhari chinu chinu chhati janujari pankha pareu sampati. As if there is burning fire in his heart and he's being consumed. As if Sampati has lost his feathers. In the story of Sampati, his feathers got burnt up, scorched by the rays of the sun. That story will be coming later. And the king, all that he does again and again, Ram, Ram, Sanehi Ram, beloved Ram, Ha Ram, Ha Lakshman, Ha Janaki. That's the state of King Janaka. Dekhi Sachim Jaya Jiva Kahi, Kinheu Danda Pranam, Sunat Utheu Vyakula Nipati, Kahu Sumantra Kaharam. Seeing the minister before him, rather minister seeing King Dasharatha, uttered his welcome words, glory to the soul of King Jaya Jiva, that's the old style, welcoming, and offered his adorations. The king got up and asked Sumantra, where is Ram? And we leave you in suspense. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukma Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.